Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Wilson. I'm one of the assistant programmers from Film at Lincoln Center, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to this conversation between Sam Pollard and Spike Lee. This is part of our retrospective of Sam's work on our virtual platform, occasioned by the release of his latest documentary, MLK FBI, which is currently available to rent on demand. Special thanks to IFC Films for working with us and allowing us this opportunity to celebrate Sam's body of work. This is a 5-film survey of his nonfiction films that also includes Spike's When the Levees Broke, which Sam co-produced and edited. So this conversation brings together not just two extraordinary filmmakers, but also longtime collaborators, and it's my honor to introduce them. We've had the good fortune of welcoming Sam over the years with his previous films, including Two Trains Runnin' and Sammy Davis Jr., I've Gotta Be Me, both included in our retrospective. That is, of course, in addition to MLK FBI, which screened in the main slate of last year's New York Film Festival. Sam is a veteran editor, director, producer, educator whose career spans decades, from his work with St. Clair Bourne, Henry Hampton, Spike Lee, to his own documentaries. He's edited a number of movies with Spike in particular, including Mo Better Blues, Jungle Fever, Bamboozled. The two also co-produced Four Little Girls, When the Levees Broke, among other documentaries. So we're especially thrilled to welcome Spike as our guest moderator. As I'm sure many of you may know, Spike's latest feature, Da 5 Bloods, premiered over the summer to much acclaim. He also, in the same year, directed the concert film David Byrne's American Utopia, which also screened at the New York Film Festival alongside MLK FBI. Spike is also the 46th recipient of Film at Lincoln Center's annual Chaplin Award. So again, it's really special to have both of you together for what I expect to be a lively and fascinating conversation. So without further delay, I'll leave it to you, gentlemen, and thank you again.
You know, Spike, Spike, I had seen Do the Right Thing, and I was living in Boston, and then like 2 months later, you gave me a call.
Boston?
Yeah, I was in Boston, man. You called me about doing
What are you doing in Boston?
I was working on eyes, man. I saw the prize.
You weren't in Fenway Park, were you? I hope not.
No, man. No.
You weren't in Fenway?
No, I wasn't at Fenway.
Good. Because if you'd have told me you were a Red Sox fan, we would not be on the phone right now.
No, man. I grew up being a St. Louis Cardinals fan.
All right, Bob Gibson.
That's right. Bill White,
Kurt Flood.
Lou Brock, man.
Orlando Cepeda.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was like a few months later, you gave me a call, man, about doing Mo Better. How'd you get my name originally?
Well, number one, I always tried to do my research. And my editor, up to that point, I'd edited, I wouldn't call it editing, but I did what I could for She's Gotta Have It.
Right.
And then Barry Brown edited Mo Better. And
do the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And Barry, I think I can't remember the film, but he couldn't do Mo Better. So I did my research. And like a sports terminology, like the great general manager I know talent. I had to get you on the team. I had to get you on the 40 Acres team. And here we are, decades later, my brother. I want to take the time, for everybody looking, that it's an honor for me to be sharing this moment, particularly on MLK Day, with my brother, the great filmmaker. And I want to state this. Sam, you're just not an editor. You are a filmmaker, producer, director, editor. I'm glad that you don't let yourself get pushed in the corner where you're just known as an editor. You are a storyteller.
Thank you.
No. That's the truth, Ruth.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
As you say, 100 is the truth. Keeping it 100.
Right. Well, for me, man, working on Mo Better was like, just a jazz film about jazz.
You're a jazz head anyway.
That's right. So it was like a real pleasure to work on that, man. And then when we got to Four Little Girls, man, I was like, whoa. When we went down, remember we went down to Birmingham and did the first set of interviews? that was
Yeah.
some experience, man. Chris McNair and the families.
Yeah.
You know.
The thing, one of the things I remember, one of the many things I remember about Four Little Girls, which also was one of the most bizarre things. I don't know if you were there or not, I don't remember. But when I had to interview Governor George Wallace, were you there that day?
No, I wasn't there.
Woo, Lord. I saw this white supremacist who knew his days on this guy's earth were numbered. And in his interview, he tried to revise his history because he knew he was gonna be going to the holy gates. And in his interview, he was trying to atone for his hatred. And and then the crazy thing, he had a male nurse.
Yeah, I remember.
Who's off screen, and he pulled the male nurse to come into the frame and show the audience, try to prove that he's okay because a male nurse. And the funniest moment, which is not that there are not many laughs in Four Little Girls. It's very tragic and sad. But I couldn't help but die and laugh and looking at that male nurse's face. He was like, "Oh, why am I?" You remember that?
Yes, yeah. And then he kind of eased out of the frame.
Yeah, and then he come in. He had this look on his face, and then he just left.
Yeah, man, that was some film, man. That was some film. But then,
no, go ahead, Sam. Go ahead.
And then remember when I guess we were finishing up. You were finishing up Inside Man. When did we start to win levies? When did you come to me and say we wanted to do levies? You were finishing up Inside Man, right?
I can't remember the chronological dates. But I do remember this. Sam. I was in Venice, of all places. I'm in Venice, Venice Film Festival, and Ty, my wife, tells me to turn on CNN because once you leave America, I'm in Venice,
right?
The Venice Film Festival. I'm not thinking about what's going on in the United States. And Tanya called me up and said, "Turn on the TV," because I remember very vaguely hearing about an approaching hurricane Katrina, but I wasn't paying no mind.
Right.
But when I turned on CNN, I did not leave my room. I'm in Venice, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, the Venice Film Festival.
Right.
I didn't leave my room. And I kept seeing my people, horrific images of my people on roofs of their homes, waving bed sheets, spray painted SOS. Day one, I was waiting for the rescue. Day two, day three, day four. It wasn't until day 5, Sam, as you know, that the United States of America came to the rescue of its own American citizens.
Yeah, horrific, man, horrific.
It's and you talk about everybody's looking at the history of past presidents, especially since we got Agent Orange. I don't call him by his name. I got to shout out to my Brooklyn brother, Busta Rhymes. He came up with that term, Agent Orange. Busta. And everybody's looking at, who's that? George Bush. That's a historic blemish on him.
Yeah.
Katrina. And also, weapons of mass destruction. And people, again, when presidents in their actions or inaction do stuff that leads to the deaths of American citizens, that's not a good look.
It's a horrible look.
It's a horrible look. Thank you, Sam. And it goes down. And you could say, I would say, blood is on your hands. There's
Yeah.
blood on George Bush's hands. There's blood. We go back to Nixon War, Nixon LBJ, Vietnam War, and most recently with Agent Orange, with his refusal to deal with that 19, that Rona.
Right. That's right. And then, man, when watching him tell these people to go down to the Capitol 2 weeks ago, man,
Woo, Lord.
Insanity, man.
But I'd like to say this, if I may, Sam, I was not surprised by this. When they took over the Capitol building in Lansing, Michigan, that was a dry run.
Mm-hmm.
This is my language, but this shit was planned, premeditated. It's not like they just happened out of nowhere. People are gonna come back and realize Michigan was a dry run for January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And as the days pass, the truth has leaked out about, law enforcement.
Yeah.
Inside job.
That's right.
Shenanigans, skullduggery.
The okey doke.
The okey doke.
What a country, man. What a country, man. Crazy.
We're living in historic times, Sam, as you know.
I know.
And you got a doc coming. Something coming. I know you're gonna tell the story, Sam. I know you are.
Right.
An upcoming documentary, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Okay, man. Okay. When we went down to New Orleans, man, you shot almost 100 interviews, man. Remember that? When we went down there for Levy's?
Yeah. And Sam, as you know, the audience might not notice, but there are many ways to make documentaries. I myself personally do not like documentaries as that are narrated.
Right. I don't either.
That's just my thing. I'm not hating on anybody, but for me, I prefer the voiceovers should not be voiceover. They should be the people.
Yeah.
Let the people tell the story. So, as you just noted, we did over 100 interviews because we wanted the people to tell the story. And I know sometimes you have to get second and third hand accounts because of circumstances. But when you could get eyewitness accounts.
Yeah, that's right, man.
People who were there, not like I heard somebody told me little Pookie down the block, Nah, as you know, a lot of detective work has to go on. Right. So, as you know, Sam, a lot of those interviews came about from referrals. I didn't even know who these people were, but they said, Spike, you need to speak to this person too.
That's right.
So you got to go on leads, a lot of detective work, because you don't know everything, but they do.
That's what happened. I mean, when Judy and I went down there originally, we were finding people, then they gave us names of more people. We gave those names to you. That's how it worked. Yeah.
Yeah, the leads, people gave you leads to the people who could help you tell a story.
Yeah.
And that's how we got to over 100 interviews for that documentary.
Yeah, it was some experience, man, shooting all that stuff. Really some experience.
Yeah, we were there very early after New Orleans opened up. And you think about it, Sam, it looked a lot like New York during the pandemic.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
I just thought about this today.
Yeah.
When we went to New Orleans, it was like a ghost town.
Yeah.
And I automatically remembered how New York was during the height of
the pandemic.
Yeah. I just made that link.
That connection.
Correlation. Yeah.
And you remember originally you thought it was going to be a 2-hour film, Levees, and then you came to the other room and said, "Man, this can't be 2 hours, man. This got to be 4 hours."
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know. Originally, we got to give love to Sheila Nevins. Shout out to Sheila Nevins at HBO. When I pitched it, as you noted, Sam, I originally said 2 hours. Little did I know. I said, Sam, 2 hours is not gonna be enough to tell the story. And again, a shout out to Sheila Nevins for believing in us and letting us expand from 2 hours to 4 hours. And I like to add, we went back to do If God Is Will and the Creek Don't Rise, where we visited New Orleans. I said 4 hours.
I know. I was in the room, man. I was in the room.
I said, Sheila, this gotta be 4 hours. I messed up by saying 2. And again, Sheila said fine.
Yeah, she came through.
Yeah,
she definitely supported it, man. I mean, these are 2 groundbreaking series about this American experience, man. Groundbreaking.
And Sheila Nevins was right there and said, gave us the green light.
Yeah. Cool, man. So you campaigning for the 5 Bloods, huh?
Yeah, I'm on the circuit, and the 5 Bloods ends with a speech that my Morehouse brother, Dr. Martin Luther King, gave at Riverside Church.
Yeah, 67 speech.
Yes, where he talked about how moral this war was. And my brother, Dr. Martin Luther King, was assassinated a year later.
That's
that
right.
Same day, that very same day, gave that speech at Riverside Church.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. That was in the 60s, man. Was some history, man. Some history in America, boy. Some history in America.
Yeah, I was born in 57, so 67, I'm 10 years old.
Yeah.
So I was old enough to see what's going on. And then at the dinner table, we were talking about my parents, my late mother Jackie, my father Bill, and my siblings. So we were talking about at the dinner table, what's happening in the world.
Right. Wow. Well, I think we got it, man. I think we got it.
Well, I just like to say, you got nothing about Jungle Fever?
Oh man, Jungle Fever, man. For me, the best sequence is when Sam goes, gets killed by Ozzy, man. That sequence is like, whoa.
And who is this?
It's Marvin Gaye, man.
Exactly. That's where that came from.
Oh, you got that from when his father. Oh,
yes,
I didn't.
Marvin, you never knew that?
No, I didn't know that, man. I didn't know.
You edited the film.
I know I did.
Sam, my brother, that's where it came from.
Oh.
Marvin Gaye was killed, murdered by his father.
Well, I know that.
Yes, but that's where it came from.
Oh, okay.
Ozzy Davis played Samuel Jackson's father.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, that's where it came from.
Oh, okay. You know Marvin Gaye and I had the same.
Sam, you're late, brother.
Well,
what year did Tim? What year did Mo Better come out?
1989, man. 1990.
No, do right things. 89.
1990. We
shot that 19. We shot that the fall of 89.
Yeah.
And that's where it came from.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, Marvin and I had the same birthday.
Yeah?
Yeah, April 2nd.
Do you remember the day we were shooting in Bensonhurst and I had a death threat and the cops had to come. We weren't shooting in Bensonhurst. That's when Bensonhurst was Bensonhurst.
Yeah, I know.
Yusuf Hawkins, you know.
Yeah.
You had a death threat one day.
Wow.
You don't remember that either, huh?
That I don't remember, man. No. I was deep in the editing room, man. I don't remember that.
Man, Tim, get that upstairs. Off the wall. The third room bathroom. Go this way. The Daily News cover. Death threat.
Oh, let
Wait,
me see that.
Yeah, we're gonna see it. I'm gonna show it to you in a minute. We're gonna take it off the wall. I had it framed.
Wow. Bensonhurst, that whole scene with Wesley and
Yeah, did you see that documentary?
about Yusuf Hawkins?
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw it. It's good.
yeah. But those images,
Yeah.
when they're marching through Bensonhurst,
Oh yeah, man.
that could have been Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, that was intense. You know what's intense about that doc is that brother who grew up in Bensonhurst. Man.
Oh,
How
yeah.
conflicted he is, man.
Woo!
Ooh.
I'm surprised he wanted to be a part of that.
I'm surprised too, man.
But it reminds me, you know what it reminds me of? Like, that type of thing is like, even though he's a moolie, he's our moolie. He's a Moulignon, but he's our Moulignon. So
That's right.
he's all right.
He's all right.
Fucking moolies.
Yeah, he's I could tell in the film he's conflicted, man.
Here we go. I'm gonna show it to you.
All right.
Since you didn't remember.
Cops guard Spike Lee. I don't remember this. Wow.
Sam, you edited the movie.
I know I did, man, but I don't remember this.
Sam, this is the front page of the Daily
News.
February 21st, 1990.
Yeah. Wow.
We were shooting in Bensonhurst.
Wow.
I received a death threat. It says, Spike Lee in Dodger jacket goes about his business shooting his new film with police protection last night in Brooklyn. Extra cops were called in after outbreak of violence and threats of more.
And
Bensonhurst has been gentrified.
I know.
Wow.
Wow. Cool.
Death threats. They wanted to kill me.
Jesus, man. Long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago, man. Long time ago.
So let me ask you a question. What are you working on now?
You know, I've been helping. I'm co-directing a doc about Arthur Ashe.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, I got another thing. Hold on. Wanda, give me that tennis racket. Quick. Not the one in the corner. Hold on. Sam, I got something for you, baby.
All right.
You know 40 Acres of Mules is the museum, baby. You know, you come to 40 Acres, it's the museum.
What's this?
Off the wall.
Oh.
This is a racket. Match used. Arthur Ashe.
Wow.
By his wife, Jeannie.
Wow. That's fantastic, man.
What else you want me to show you?
Wow.
What else you want? What else you want, Sam? I got you. What else you want?
That's good. Yeah, so I'm
you
doing
shot
that.
Bamboozle, right? You edited Bamboozle, right?
Yeah, I embedded
All right,
Bamboozle.
one more thing. Lawanda, give me. Go behind the camera. Hold on.
You know, people remember we said the other night how Bamboozle's really being recognized now. You know?
Yeah. You the Bamboozle thing? Yeah, Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, people finally starting to see it. Everybody talks about it now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
This says Bamboozle, Spike Lee from cast and crew.
Wow. Bamboozle. Wow. That's nice.
What else you want?
What do you got from Clockers, man? What do you got from Clockers?
I don't know. I don't know what I got from Clockers.
Or Girl 6?
Can't find anything right now that I see. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
As
sure.
an audience member, there's two things we got to talk about. This question and also you teaching, because you and I teach.
Yeah, then why you?
Let's let the world know you and I teach at the greatest film school in the world, NYU.
That's right.
My first question to you, Mr. Pollard, how do you approach, is there any difference in your approach between when you're editing narrative films and documentary films?
No, I mean, my approach is the same, man. I'm trying to create a dramatic story.
It's storytelling, right?
Storytelling. It's the same approach. That's how I approach it. And when I'm talking to students, be it fiction students or documentary students, I tell them the same thing. I'm trying to create a story, that's going to build and have a climax at the end. That's the same feeling. I always had that feeling. And the other thing I like about teaching, I heard you say this, and I also agree with this. As a teacher, I feel like I'm not only learning, but I'm not only teaching the students, but I'm learning from the students, which sometimes even helps me be a better filmmaker. So I love this whole connection with the students through the years at school.
Yes, for the audience that might not know, Mr. Pollard and I have for many years taught at the world's greatest film school. Not USC. I've loved the football team over the years. And the thing about NYU, Sam, we've never had a Heisman Trophy winner.
No.
We've never won any national football championships.
No.
But when it comes to film,
Yes.
we kick their ass.
Exactly, man.
So Sam and I have taught at the best film school, NYU Graduate Film School, and many times we passed each other in the halls when we spoke at each other's class, it's been one. And as you said, I've felt over the years that I've learned as much from my students as they've learned from me.
Yeah.
And if you're a teacher, professor, if you're not learning from your students, something's wrong.
That's exactly right, man.
Because you got to have that flow.
That's right. The give and take.
And give and take. And if it's just coming from one way, then something's clogged.
That's right.
An artery of knowledge is clogged.
That's right. And that's what's important about it, man. I mean, that's why I still dig it so much, Mm-hmm. I really still dig the experience of teaching, prepping for my classes and everything, man.
And another great thing I like to say about NYU Graduate Film School, and I think you might agree with me, Sam, is that NYU has enabled us to still pursue our craft. Let us make our films at the same time teach.
That's exactly right, man. That kind of flexibility has been fantastic.
Giving us flexibility because NYU understands that grad and undergrad, that the learning process might be richer if the students are learning from working professionals.
Exactly.
Professionals who still working.
Exactly, man.
Still working. That makes a great difference.
Yep.
I mean, no disrespect to any other faculty or whatever their situation is. No disrespect, all love. But when students, when they're in a room and they're listening to yourself, me, other professors, they understand like this person standing in front of me, they're still working.
That's right. We're in the trenches.
And look at IMDb and see put their name and say in production.
Yeah.
Like It makes a difference.
Yeah, and
I
they're always asking, how can you do it? How can you figure out how to be teaching and making films? I said, well, it just calls, you got to get up early in the morning, start early, and go late. You know.
But there's something addition that which I'm going to piggyback on you. NYU grad gives working professionals the flexibility
Mm-hmm.
do both.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks, man.
Sam. Love you.
Take
Bye,
it
man.
easy. Take it easy, man. Be good. Bye.